what's going on YouTube? Do you want to run a super visually busy build that is actually viable? Do you flat out want to annoy your group mates? If you answered yes to either of those, then this build is for you. Welcome to my off-meta endgame 6-pet Bobo Stamina Sorcerer, also known as StamSorc. This build is optimized as best as possible while keeping a perfect balance between visual clutter and effectiveness. I would like to start by saying that this build is not for every situation because of the amount of visual clutter it can cause. Furthermore, I don't recommend you run this in very hard content unless everyone in the group agrees to it. With that disclaimer out of the way, this build is capable of doing over 90k on the trial dummy and is actually pretty viable for most content. I'd also like to stress that this is a group oriented build and is not meant for solo play, but it can certainly be used for it as well. Anyways, here's the build. Starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a stamina and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For this particular build, I am a Dark Elf. Race doesn't matter too much, but Dark Elf seems to be the best as of Ascending Tides right now. For consumables, we're going to be running RTM Takeaway Broth for most hard content. A cheaper and almost just as good alternative would be Dubious Camera on Throne. And lastly, if you're parsing or just want more sustain, then Lava Food Soup and Salt Rice is always the good. For potions, we're just going to be running standard Essence of Weapon Power. These potions are important for stamina DPS because they provide 3 essential buffs: Major Brutality, Major Savagery, and Major Intellect. Keep in mind these potions do cost a little bit to make, so make sure you have 3 points in a medicinal use to fully benefit from the full duration of the potions. For CP, we're going to be running Backstabber, Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, and Fighting Finesse. For the Red Tree, Bloody Renewal, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality. So moving on to gear, we're going to be running a 5-piece Morkelden, 5-piece Defiler, 2-piece Mauled Inferno, and 1-piece Black Rose Prison Bow. So in the main hand, we have a Morkelden bow in Precise with a flame damage enchant. On the back bar, Black Rose Prison Bow infused with a weapon damage enchant. For the head and shoulders, we have 2 pieces of Mauled Inferno in light with max stam enchants. For the body, we have 5 pieces of Defiler, all in divines with max stam enchants. And for the jewelry, we have 3 pieces of Morkelden jewelry, all with weapon damage enchants traded in Bloodthirsty. So for skills, we're going to be running Bound Armaments, Lethal Arrow, Daedric Prey, Clan Fear, Twilight Tormentor, Dawnbreaker, and on the back bar, Endless Hail, Magnum Shot, Poison Injection, Clan Fear, Twilight Tormentor, and our Greater Storm Atronach. So for the rotation, it's going to revolve around using our Bound Armaments at 4 stacks. So once you get your 3rd stack, you can light attack Bound Armaments, and then you'll be able to cast it at 4 stacks. Daedric Prey is the only skill that's run dynamically, so try to keep that up as much as possible. And then the 3 skills, Endless Hail, Magnum Shot, and Poison Injection, can be cast together when you're on your back bar. And when you don't have anything better to cast your Lethal Arrow and drop your Storm Atronach whenever it's ready. So for closing thoughts, first off, some bow alternatives. You can run Maelstrom or Master's Bow. When running either of those, just replace Magnum Shot as a flex spot. And if you want to capitalize on more damage, just run Barbed Trap and take out either Fighting Finesse or Backstabber for slightly more DPS. Moving along, you can drop Bound Armaments for an easier rotation, but it will come at a cost of less DPS. So when I was making this build, I tried and contemplated a few sets: Unfathomable Darkness, Aegis Caller, and Scavenging Demise. So the problem with Unfathomable Darkness was the fact that the Crow Swarm needed to be within, I think, 12 meters, which was nowhere near the range of what a bow should be at. Aegis Caller was a no-go because of the fact that it required a melee attack, and Scavenging Demise only lasted for a second, so I called quits on it. And lastly, for a cheaper setup, you can run Defiler Bow and Jewelry instead of Morkelden, and instead run Morkelden on the body, because in the setup I show, I run Morkelden Jewelry, and upgrading to purple jewelry can get quite costly. And I think that wraps it up. And that wraps up the build explanation section of this portion. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or better yet, come join our Discord and ask your questions there. As a reminder, if this video helped in any way, please help the channel grow by subscribing and like the video if you like the piggies. Feel free to stick around for an attached parse and outfit section at the end. If not, have a good day and thank you again. And I'm going to try to test something with this video. After the parse, I'm going to add a quick rundown of the passives and CP points I used. I don't know if people are interested in that, but we'll see with this video.